It's the Boylan team, and we're doing the May market statistics. We're going to go through Reno, Carson, Sparks, Fernley, all over northern Nevada.
Region. It's good to see how things are changing and maybe not changing as much recently, which is always good news too.
Right, because you know, you're listening to the news, you're getting on pop-ups on your phone. The world is crumbling. The market's crumbling, everything, and it's just not.
It's not. Yeah, don't listen to all the hyperbole you hear on the news.
You want to get the facts. I mean, just like in Tahoe, we've been up to that beautiful, it's ebb and flowing. And what time of the day it is, the morning's beautiful to ski on, the afternoon there's 6-foot swells. And we're in Amy and we're going through and giving you expert statistics on what's happening.
Right, and it's nice to see the prices of homes are still going to be going up, but it's slowed down, leveling off, which is great for buyers. It's really great for the market. Right,
so it's a deceleration, not a depreciation.
Correct.
And those are big. I mean, those are really two big facts to understand: the deceleration and depreciation.
Right. I mean, the market appreciation in home prices went up dramatically in the last 12 to 18 months, and now we're seeing it slow down, which is great for. But sellers still have record equity in their homes, but now buyers can the market's kind of settling in a little bit, which makes it much easier for buyers.
It's leveling out, which is a great thing. And so it's the buyers are pushing back a little bit. We see some of our listings. Things are
seller credits and concessions are back, and
and that's we work with expert. We have some expert lenders on our team that are creative. Amy and I are creative, thinking outside the box, especially for a buyer. It's actually a win-win for the buyers and sellers. On certain things. It's not just a win for the sellers, not just a win for the buyers. We're thinking about win-win for both teams.
And that's what you like to see, and that means we're slowly maybe moving back to a more balanced market. It's definitely still a seller's market, but the buyers have more leverage now.
So explain that a little bit before we go into stats. So a seller's market, right now there's about, I was just reading, about a month and a quarter, month and a half worth of inventory. So explain what a seller...
We need to get to 6 months inventory to truly be a buyer's market or be more level at least.
Okay,
so we just need more inventory, but we're seeing that increase quite a bit this year, much more than last year and the year before.
Right. So I'm very excited about this stuff because I'm a numbers guy. Can't write very well, but I'm a numbers guy. I love the numbers and seeing them and going through them with you and Tom and stuff like that. So let's start in Reno. I mean, we're going to start from April. So everything, we just say that we're June 23rd right now. We just say that stuff really started. Like it hit really fast, like the beginning of May, the middle of May, would you say there?
That's when things really seem to be changing, where we're seeing more price reductions in home prices. It's not because they were necessarily overpriced. They were priced at the comps, but things have they're not getting sold at those prices right now. So we are seeing less multiple offer situations. They're still coming in, but maybe you're talking 2 or 3 offers, not 5 or 10.
Not 5 and 10 in 1 second?
And homes are taking longer, they're on the market longer, and we're going to be looking at May, but then I'm excited to see what June looks like, because I know homes are sitting longer, they're taking longer to go into contract, which is good for buyers, so you don't have to make a rush decision and you're not battling everybody else.
Yeah, and I like that you said that, because I was looking at the stats from June 1st to June 13th, and all of northern Nevada, where all the MLS covers, 881 new listings, 669 of those were price reductions. So it's just, I mean, about 80% of them are going down, and like you said, it's not because they can't comp out, it's just because the market's pushing back a little bit.
Right, the buyers are not, they're not as active, and they're trying to get their deals.
Right. Yeah. So look at it. We're going to go through. We're up in Reno right now, and in Reno, so the median from April to May was around 630. So is that pretty similar?
Right. It stayed the same. You see down here in the bottom that 630 in April, and it stayed 630 was a median sale price in Reno. So that leveled for that month. Right.
And then you go to the median. This is crazy. The median in 2021 in May was 550. That went up, so that went up from 550 to 630. What, the 14 and a half, almost 14, over 14% jump there.
That's a huge
jump.
That's
a big number.
That is a big jump.
Yeah, so we're, like you said, we're not talking about, like, I love how you used the boat analogy before in other videos, where you, like a boat, you put the hammer down and you're going. That's what the equity was over the last 18 months or so. Now it's just you're pulling, but you're still moving forward.
Yeah, you can decelerate, but you're still going forward.
Yeah,
and so the prices are still going forward. But we like seeing it level off, and we may see a little up and down, and that's more of a normal market as opposed to these just huge appreciations.
Right. So what do you see from closed sales from April to May in Reno?
April to May closings, we went from 338 to 373, so we got a few more closed. Right. Correct?
And then
and active inventory went up quite a bit.
I mean, now look at it, up on 17%. When you go back and look, I mean, that's a huge number. The active inventory from May 2021 to May 2022 went up 83%.
Because we typically, in a regular market, we expect to see the inventory going up this time of year.
Right.
And it just hadn't been happening in last year, so that's a big difference. 301 listings last year compared to 551 this year.
Yeah,
That's great to see.
Yeah, and there wasn't much. There was really two different closes because you had 371, 373.
Right.
So that much, and this is where it doesn't seem like a lot, but this is where you and I are seeing it. A lot of the market seeing it. Days to contract is going up pretty
Right, it went
quickly.
to 8, and I think we're going to see a big, like we said, I think when we look at the June numbers
It's going up.
next month, we're going to see a bigger timeline there.
Yeah, because I was just looking
Yeah.
for a couple people this morning that wanted me to run some numbers for them, and I see 24 days, I see 48 days, I see just going into contract.
So we're back to saying now you don't have to worry. It's not that people are going to think there's something wrong with the house. It
Yeah.
just takes longer. We're not seeing as many showings on every listing like we have in the past. It's just slow. It's a slower taper, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
If we had a house last year that was it was a 2021, and it was on the market. We left it on the market for 5 days on purpose, and everybody's calling us, what's wrong with the house? It's a brand new house, but that's the thing now. Things are.
We could have been in contract in 12
hours. We could
hours.
have been, pretty quickly.
And that's just not as common now.
Right.
Definitely.
So new listings. What's the new listings from?
New listings actually went down. It went from 540 in April to 488 in May.
So
for
people,
new listings.
so the market's, it's just people are getting a little nervous, maybe a little bit, because this is the time of year everything usually jumps up, and it only went up 6% from last year.
So but we did see are more on the market.
Yes, there is.
In May, particularly, there maybe weren't that many new ones
listings.
come on, but still, it's nice to see the active inventory
going up
overall.
Yeah,
because
going
that
up. Yeah,
helps
going
the
up from
buyers.
17% just in April is really great.
Well, it gives buyers an
Reno.
option,
Right.
because even if you are okay, you go into multiple offer situation, it's just hard to find a house that you like when there's not a lot of inventory. So now there's a lot more choices out there, which it puts the buyers' minds at ease, I think. Just they feel confident they can find something they're going to like. Right,
and that's why you and I specialize in off-market homes. Really, if you want to look at premarketaccess.com, but we specialize in making a deal, things that are on the market, so people don't have all that stress of what's going on. But it's also nice if they see something online, we can go jump on it pretty quickly.
Right.
But we really specialize in the off-market pre-list homes. But that's nice to have that opportunity and stuff like that.
That's right. It's just the pre-market is, I like to say, we just cast a wider net to find the homes for the buyers. You've got off-market and we're looking at on-market, and with more inventory, that just gives you more options, and it's great for the buyers.
Right. All right, let's go to Sparks. What we got in
Take a look
Sparks?
at Sparks.
So go ahead, start from April to May in the median.
That went up 20. It was 550 in April and 570 in May. But what I remember from when we looked at the numbers before, Sparks stayed level.
Yes.
From
April.
From March to April.
Yeah, March to
so
April.
Everything's kind of the same. It goes up, it levels off, and then it may go up a little bit more.
And look at the jump from 2021 May to 2022 went from 453 to over 570. So God, that's another 27 over 28% jump there.
Yeah.
So just again, the hammer was down, and this is kind of interesting. The close sales.
Closed, it went from 157 closed sales in April to 144 in May. So a few less closed in May.
Yeah, and even look at the year, it's 16% down from last year.
So a few less closed.
And active inventory? Oh man.
Active inventory went up from 143 listings to 234. So that's nice to see.
Yeah, and look at last year's number. There were 75 homes on the active market in Sparks, went up 212%. I remember looking at Carson, because we've had a few people, new first-time home buyers buying Carson in the recent months here. And there was one time in March, the end of February, and even almost towards the end of March, in all of Carson and all of Douglas, there was like 26 active homes available at all price ranges. So look at that from.
It's nice to see that.
Look at just from April to May, we're going up 63%. So again, we talk about the premarketaccess.com pre-list homes, but when you can have somebody, they can see that home right there, and it's like, wow, that really fits my needs. It's nice to have those options.
Right, exactly.
And then let's go to
days to contract in Sparks stayed level. 6 days to contract in April and in May.
Yeah,
but I think we're going to see a change in that as well.
Yeah, and even from last year, 5 to 6.
Not a big change.
But I think I'm really excited, and we're going to go on. We go on the third week of every month, and go on and do our market reports. So we're very excited about July to see when we do it in July, what happened in June, because I think we're going to see that. And what about new listings going in?
As you can see, the new listings went from 208 in April to 247 in May,
Right.
almost 19%.
And then
and
pretty
from
big
last
jump,
year, yeah, from
yeah.
164 to 247, over 50% jump. So
Right.
it's just nice to see those numbers going up.
The numbers are going up, and that's, like, again, we can't reiterate that. Having those options as a win-win for the seller, win-win for the buyer. We have amazing, creative, thinking outside the box programs for our buyers and sellers.
Exactly.
So we're going to go.
We're going
Let's
to take
go
a
to
look at Carson
Carson.
City, which we've had quite a few buyers looking down there recently, and
Right.
it's nice to see more inventory. Like Billy said, there wasn't a lot for a while, and it's nice when we open up the map just to see what's active and see a lot of green dots and
Right.
know that there's a lot for our clients to choose from.
Right. So let's go. This is interesting here.
Well, yeah, the median sale price actually dropped $3,000 from 468 to 465.
Yeah.
Which is really
And that-
interesting. But that one little drop doesn't mean it's going to keep going. A lot of times we're going to see it go up and down.
Right.
That's what we normally see in a regular market.
The regular market.
Yeah.
I mean, even it's all right around. And last year in May was 470. So we went from
Exactly.
470 to 468 to 465. So it's hovering right around there.
Correct.
Yeah, and both of our buyers in March and April bought in that range, a little bit lower than
Oh yeah,
that, you know.
exactly.
And then we have some homes on the market now
And
over
it really,
600.
and it is the median, so it just really depends on what sold that month.
Right.
You know, if you've had more higher priced houses sell that month, that median price might have gone up a little
Right.
bit. So it really just depends, and so it shows that maybe the lower priced homes are selling.
And that's
really,
nice to
and
have
there's
those
some more
opportunities.
First time buyer prices
Absolutely.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
What do we do in closed sales?
From 79 to 105, so up almost 25% from April to May, which is great.
Right.
Great news.
And then we went from closed sales from 63, we went 40% from 63 to 105. And this number right here, the big number I like there, is the 86. Having that, the bigger inventory.
Yes, much more choices.
Yeah.
Because we have somebody actively looking in Carson now, and a few months ago, it could have taken her a long time to even find one she'd want to look at.
Yeah.
And now she does have more options, and it's
Yeah.
great.
And that's why we're seeing too is with the contingencies and stuff like that, we're trying to get, we're trying to work through every game plan with every buyer and every seller. She's a seller and she's got a contingent off. So just working through the creatives with her, so
Yes.
she, kind of, because before you didn't want to sell your, you don't want to sell your house first because you may never find a home. Like I always do the analogy, somebody pulls up on the side of the road, everybody with houses and cars, hey, I'll give you 50 extra grand for your car. Okay, great. Now where am I going to go buy my car?
How do I get home?
How am I going to get home?
Yeah.
So now there's opportunities where we can, create everything to sell and close together and work with, you're working with one of your good friends in Carson, trying to get a deal. Everything's done by the same title company. Everything's done, walking through the game plan with them.
Exactly.
Right. What about median days of
Went from 8 to
contract?
10 days to contract in Carson from April to May, which
Right.
is really not a bad timeline.
And then you go
basically
from
it went
6
from
to
6 to 10
Yeah.
from year before. So
but
that's
it's moving. I guarantee you, most of June in every county is going to be up over
Oh, yeah.
double digits. 10
And
to
again, we're
15.
looking at median, so
Yeah.
if a few of the houses went quickly, that kind of skews it down.
Right.
So it's not average, it's median. So I guarantee there's houses taking much longer.
Right.
And
So-
there's still ones that go
Yeah,
fast.
I know. And this is exciting to see this because we really dive into the numbers. And Amy and I love doing this, and I love the numbers. I really enjoy finding out what's going on in every county, every market, so we can serve our clients better, sellers and buyers.
Exactly.
Where are we going
so take
now?
a look at Burnley.
Burnley, okay, start about, bud.
Yeah, so we went from 385 to 419, 950, almost 420. Went up 9% from April to May for median sold prices.
Right, and even look at last year in May 21, went up 20, a little bit over 19 from 352 to that 419.
Yeah.
So that's again a big jump.
That is a big jump, almost 20% for Burnley is
Right.
amazing. And total closed sales, say about 51 to 52. So
And then last year was 49 to 50, so not much different. So the market's staying pretty similar
Right.
out there right now. What about the active
the
inventory?
inventory went from 89 to 107, which is 20%.
Right.
In 1 month, which is nice to see. It's another community where their inventory was getting low.
Oh,
and
look
now
at
it's
last
nice
year
to
with
see, yeah.
48.
It's
Went
nice
up
to see a lot more
122%.
homes on the market
Yeah,
out
so
there, which is
again,
great.
giving people opportunities and giving them just
Options.
options to do what they got to do. What about
Exactly.
median days to contract?
That went way up from 6 days to 13 days.
Yeah.
So
And last year was 5 to 13.
yeah, so that's a big jump, which is nice. I just
Right.
think it's. I know the sellers now, everyone's used to getting their house into contract right away and get a little scary if you go over 5 days, but this is really more what you see in a normal
Right.
level market.
Yeah, and we got a new house listed, and we're gonna be listed in Fernley next week, or just right around there, right by the 4th of July. And that's the same, he's trying to get, because let's see what's going. He's moving out of the state, and I'm telling him things are moving a little
Yeah,
slower.
yeah.
You know, we want to price it right. We may be able to get a couple offers, but the big thing is pricing it right and
being a little patient
and giving them expectations. It's not going to, most likely, it's not going to go on contract in the first day, but it might go in the second week. You know, just trying to plan ahead when they're going.
Exactly.
So what about the new listings?
New listings went down a little bit from 77 to 62,
Okay.
which that's still fine. It's just, you know, that's
And
to be
even look at
expected.
last year, same thing, 82 to 62.
Yeah.
You know, so, but
But overall, active inventory is up.
it's going
and that's
up. I mean, way up, which is good.
Perfect. And
And
let's
we
look at Douglas County.
Douglas, okay,
In
go
regard
start them
to
up.
that area. So they went from 610 median price to 540, so it went down a little bit. But again, that's another area that has very high priced
Yeah,
homes
very high.
and then the starter homes. So there's
Right.
a big difference. So it really depends on what was selling in that month. So if more of the lower priced homes sold, that's going to skew the number down a little
Right.
bit. So, but right now, so that's why it might have gone down.
And it still went up 3% and went from 526 to 540. So
But there's such a
Douglas,
range of
there's
prices
a very
out there.
range. You go, yeah. I mean, there's some beautiful homes down there, and I mean, we got a listing
We have
down
a
there.
horse ranch for sale down
It's
there.
over
that's-
$2 million. So I mean, it skews. You know, and then you do. Yeah.
Right, if that, you sell a few of the $1 million plus homes in Douglas County, that may skew it up. It just
Right.
really, but, so I don't think it's a legitimately 13% of price reduction in anything.
Yeah.
It's just, that's kind of where it's at, it's
Right.
median.
What about closed
And
sales?
Total close, it went from 66 to 77, so a
Right.
little bit more closings.
And then last year went from 79 to 7, so just a hair dip. But this is again I said about Carson City, because literally in the beginning of March and right around there was like between Carson and Douglas, there was like 26 homes.
Oh,
I mean,
true.
available. And now we got 122 in Douglas County. It could be Gardnerville, Minden, you know, Fishbine, all those, you know, all those
Fish
areas.
Springs, yep.
Fish Springs, all those areas out there. So it's great.
And 8 days to 9 days, from 8 to 9 days to
Right.
contract. Again, it's gonna be, everything's, I think 2 weeks is not unusual
No,
whatsoever. at
but I
this
can
point.
think everything seems to be around 9-10 right now. It's going to go to 14 to 18 days, and you know, last year we went from 6 to 9, so not a difference. But
Correct.
as you can see, last year you were getting everything very quickly in a contract.
Right.
And even I think those, if you look at last year, as I said before, if you look at 6 days to contract, I think it was more because people wanted to gather as many offers as they can. So
Right,
you
so
list it on a
they would
Tuesday.
wait to-
We're going to look at
Correct.
offers on a Monday. So that's like 6 days right there. So
But you still, as a buyer, you still want to be sure if there's a house you see on the market that you want to go take a look at, you still don't want to put it off because there's no guarantee it's going to take 6 days or 7 days or 8 days. It could take 3.
Right.
So if something comes up that you really want to see, you want to get in there still as quickly as possible.
right.
And maybe get offers in before they get other offers and give yourself the best chance
Absolutely.
of getting the home. But definitely, I still wouldn't wait around,
No.
would you? I don't think we should,
Know
I
what
think
you're doing.
buyers need to be ready to go if you see something you like.
Yeah, and that's what we said, you know, before. I say this all the time. The best time to buy a house would have been 120 days ago when the interest rates were very low. They're going north, and the next best time is today, because the interest rates are still, they're hovering around 6%, and they're still going to keep going north. And still, when you look at decade by decade, we're still at historic lows.
It's still, yeah, 6% is still, everyone just got used to these abnormally crazy
Yeah.
low interest rates. So 6% is still great. But especially if you watch our Friday videos that we do with Desiree LeBlue from Prime Lending, there's a lot of ways you can get that interest rate down.
Absolutely.
And save more money between buying rates down, doing adjusted rate mortgages, doing both. You know, there's all kinds
All
of
the
ways.
arms,
Yeah,
yeah.
so don't get discouraged. 6% is still very good, but you can actually get it down lower with a little creativity with
Yeah,
the
and
lender.
that's one thing Amy just mentioned about our Friday series with Desiree. This all about, and I said it before, all about a win-win for our sellers and the buyers.
Right.
Where we can save you guys thousands and thousands of dollars. So we're gonna,
Exactly.
you know, so it's just, and I like one thing Desiree said last week. You know, even if you get it at 6%, it's your forever home, but it's not your forever loan.
Right.
So you know, take that, whatever you got to
The
do.
other thing I've heard a few people say lately is marry the house, date the rate.
There you
So
go.
that's another way to think about it. It's
I
just
like
you don't
that.
have to be locked into that. If it goes down, you can refinance.
Right, absolutely. So we're gonna go to our last county here. Well, it's 3 of them combined. We got Churchill, Story, and Lyon. So let's go to the median sales price and
So they went
there.
from 385 to 399 from April to May.
Right, and then from last year we went up 17 and a quarter from 330 to 339. So the $69,000 jump there. It's a big
Right.
jump.
And closed sales went down just a little bit from April to May from 169 to 159.
Right, and then again, same thing, a little bit down from 178 to 159. And I get excited about this one. 246 in these 3 counties. You know, it could be from Fallon to Yarrington, all around. 246 active inventory, and all prices. You're you're giving buyers options.
That's right, it's great. And median days to contract stated 11 days from April to May.
Right, then 6 to 11.
Yeah.
So
So
we can, these are exciting numbers, and really,
Yeah.
this is, we're gonna be on the third week of July, going for June numbers, and we're gonna look at April. We're not gonna look at last year's number. We're gonna look at April 2022, May 22, and June, so we're really get a good idea
As
where
yeah,
it's
the more
going.
months you can look, previous months, you can kind of see the trend and which way the market's trending,
Yeah.
which is good to know.
So Amy and I, we have our finger on the pulse of the market at all times. We're here to help. We love what we do, helping
That's right.
buyers and sellers. We're making things happen. Gather that information. What do you say about gathering information?
Well, the more you know, you explore your options, you understand what's going on, it takes away your fear and uncertainty when you're moving forward.
Yeah.
It takes away the stress, for sure.
It takes, I like how you say that, it takes away the fear, because all you hear at headlines, everything's crashing, don't buy, don't, you know, because what was that thing we saw yesterday from Desiree shared it about rent? What's the
Oh
interest
yeah,
rate
your
on rent?
interest rate on rent is 100%. So
Yeah.
think about it that way. You're worried about 6% buying the home, or you can pay 100% because you're not getting anything except a roof over your head month to month.
Yeah.
You're not building equity, you're not or ownership or anything like that. So
So,
it's definitely worth checking into. You may be surprised what you can qualify for if you're out there renting now too.
So
It's
whether you're
definitely worth
first time,
checking.
yeah, that's a good idea. Whether you're a first time home buyer, you're a seller moving up, moving down, you have a baby coming, you need a bigger house, you have a death in the family, you have a new job, lose your job, things are happening. Like I said, Amy and I got our finger on the pulse of the market. We got a great team around us.
We can guide you through whatever your situation. Everybody's situation is unique, and we can help you through. And I think when you have the right people on your team, you avoid a lot of the pitfalls. You get through, and things go smoother, and it just doesn't have to be a stressful, scary thing.
So whether it's lenders, whether it's handymen, whether it's electricians, we have you covered. We have amazing programs we have working right now.
That's right.
We got a relocation specialist program. We're saving clients thousands and thousands of dollars. So right now you're worried about inflation. Everything costs too much, and it sucks to pay, $4 for whatever. I mean, it's $7 for gas, but we're saving people thousands and thousands on our relocation program. We love what we do. Get in line, reach out, and let us go to work for you.
Yeah, we're Amy and Billy Boylan with eXp Realty, and we will talk to you next time.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.